Hi, this video tutorial is brought to you by pm-prep35.com. We are a free PMP training website. You can visit our website pm-prep35.com to access a lot of free resources relating to mock exams and chapter tests. So please do visit pm-prep35.com. In this session, I'm going to cover direct and manage project work process, which is part of project integration management. In this process, I'm going to cover the inputs, tools and techniques and outputs of this concerned process, which is part of integration project management knowledge area. So let's get started. Uh, the direct and manage project work, before we get going, this process is mainly concerned with creating the deliverables. So deliverables can be part of any project phase in a project life cycle. So a project as such has a life cycle which spans multiple phases, and these phases are decided based on the knowledge area or the application area that the project belongs to. If you look at a software development life cycle, you have a requirement analysis phase, you have a design phase, you have a development phase, you have a testing phase and an implementation phase. So to gain better control over the project life cycle, you define the phases for a particular project. So within this life cycle or within each of the phases, you can have your project management process groups running iteratively. So since direct and manage project work falls in the executing process group, so you can have, for example, in design phase, the deliverable can be a high level design document, which can be again as a result of a process output or the output of the project as such, which can be a product that is decided. So when you're looking at the development phase in a software development lifecycle project, in the development phase you'll have the actual executable or the actual desired product that's coming out of that particular phase as the main output. So the word deliverable can mean different things based on the phase you are in. So the direct and manage project work process mainly deals with creation of the deliverable for the particular phase of the project life cycle. So when you look at it from that point of view, the direct and manage project work starts after you create the project management plan. The project management plan has the approach or the process to deal with the different milestones or the different phases of the project. So you would say, in the design phase, I'll create the high level design, I'll create the low level design. The high level design will be created on so and so date, the low level design will be created on so and so date. So these milestones you have. So based on these milestones and the process of how to create these documents or the deliverables, you go ahead and start executing the project management plan. So project management, based on the project management plan, you create your deliverables, and that's where the direct and manage project work comes. So based on that, so you have the project management plan which has the inputs about what should be done and how it should be done. Then you go ahead and create your deliverables. This is one way of looking at direct and manage project work. Then there is the other way of looking at it, wherein you are working on your project, you are in some phase, probably in the development phase. Then the project team can uncover some requirement which probably got missed while they are executing the work, and that work has already been done in a previous iteration. So this can be taken as a change request, and this change request will be reviewed by the project manager. He documents it in the form of a proper change request which has the impacts about if I change this, what all can get affected, what is the cost, what is the effect on cost, what is the effect on timeline. So he presents this before the change control board. So it's a change request. Now it goes to change control board. The change control board reviews this particular request and they might approve or reject it. When they approve it, then there needs to be then the plan, the project management plan, or the different documents related to it, like the schedule, they need to be revisited, and the milestones might have to be rewritten based on the impact. So this is another way of looking at how you can enter the direct and manage project work process. One way is the normal approach where you execute what is there in the PM plan. Then there is a change that's coming in the approved change request through an approved change request, and that approved change request can cause updates to PM plan and the other project documents. It can be even in the form of a defect repair to the particular deliverable or the product that's getting created through the direct and manage project work process. So there are two ways. One is through implementing or doing what's specified in the PM plan, or through an approved change request, which again can update the project management plan or the different project documents or the deliverable as such in the form of a defect repair. So with this knowledge about direct and manage project work process, let's go ahead and look at what are the important points or the main snippets of this particular process. The direct and manage project work process is concerned with creating the project deliverables as per the project management plan. So when you say deliverables, it need not be the actual project's product. It can be the intermediate phase deliverables, which can take the form of a high level design or a low level design, which is not what the client actually wants, but it's a process output. So you're following a process for the life cycle of the project, and as part of that you create some of the deliverables which is process based. So the deliverable can mean the project's product, or it can be the process based or the phase wise deliverables. It is the process wherein there might be scope for some changes, and those changes are sent for review by the change control board. So out of the direct and manage project work process, there can be some change requests that can be uncovered by the project team while they are executing the work. When you use the word execution, it can be part of any phase of the software development life cycle. So the concerned team which is executing that work can uncover some changes which can affect the baseline of the project management plan or some other plan. So when you say baseline, the total plan can change. So those change requests, they are not yet approved. They only when they get approved, the baselines get revisited and the requirements or the plan gets changed. So the change request can be uncovered. So now the change request, when the team uncovers a change, then that is documented as a change request. It's not yet approved, but then when it goes to the change control board through the integrated integration management process group, through the integration management process, it gets approved or rejected. If it is approved, then it gets executed again to the direct and manage project work process, and then it becomes an update to the PM plan or the deliverable as such. The process also results in updating actuals to the documents like schedule or the PM plan, since executing and planning process are iterative in nature, especially in the initial stages. So you can make updates which are actuals. You can make updates to the actuals of the schedule. So you have a plan date, you update your actual dates. Although this is an update, this is not what the update really means in terms of PMBOK. Update in terms of PMBOK, the word update means whatever comes through proper change request, approved change request. That is what is called update. So that is one more thing to have in mind. So another important output of the direct and manage project work is the work performance data. The work performance data is nothing but the raw data that is given by the team, in terms of when you meet with the team and you have status meetings, they say, in this module I have completed this functionality. So based on this, the project manager converts this into work performance information, which is useful for management review and give an idea of what amount of work has been done, what is the how is the project's performance, how is the project performing, what is the health of the project. So the work performance data is the raw data that is given by the team that's executing the work, and through this data you can understand the health of the project. So the work performance data is an important output of the direct and manage project work, which you can pull from the project management information system, wherein the team updates the daily deliverables. And there is a configuration management system. You can review what's there in the project management information system and derive the work performance data. The approved change request may be a corrective action, a preventive action, or a defect repair. So when you say a corrective action can be something that's wrong and that is currently causing an issue to the project, and you are correcting it. So there is a planned performance. You're bringing the actual in line with the plan. There's a planned process, but then it's not functioning as per what was planned. So you're correcting that to bring it in line with what was planned. But a preventive action, you are doing something proactively, so that you see an issue that's going to happen in the future, and you're trying to stop that. So that's why the preventive action comes into picture. A defect repair can be anything. A defect is something that should not get into customers' hands. So it can be a problem with the product or something like that, and you correct that using proper approach. So with this idea about the direct and manage project work, let's get into the inputs. The main input is the project management plan. The project management plan has all the subsidiary plans, but mainly it has the milestones and what should be done as part of a particular phase, what are the deliverables out of it, and how that deliverable should be created, what tool should be used, what approach should be used, who should review, who should approve, and all those details. So that's where the project management plan is an important input to both the executing processes as well as monitoring and controlling process. Basically, in case of monitoring and controlling processes, the project management plan has the baseline or what is expected. So that's where it's a main input. In case of executing process, like the direct and manage project work, it says what to do. You should ensure that you follow the project management plan and you don't deviate, because that's what the baseline is all about. Then the second input is approve change request. So this is another way or another entry point for the direct and manage project work process, because you might be doing your work as part of execution, but then if something gets uncovered through the project team raises a change request, or in other words tells the project manager documents the change request and sends it to the change control board. So that's the integrated change control process that gets executed, and then you have the approved change request coming in, and that gets implemented into the deliverables or updates to the PM plan or the project document. So that way, this is another entry point wherein you can make changes to your deliverables only through the approved change request. When there is an approved change request. So the third input is enterprise environmental factors. The enterprise environmental factors can be anything external that can affect the project as such, because when you do a direct and manage project work, you might be expecting something coming from a vendor, so which would again affect the uh, execution work. You can also depend on something called as a project management information system, wherein you're collaborating with your customer. The customer authorizes work through the work authorization system, which is again part of the PMIS. The work authorization system can be a interface between the customer team as well as the execution team, or you can have a configuration management system which is used by different teams. So these are all pushed as an the enterprise environmental factor is, in this case, is decided initially, right on the outset, when the project is taken up. So they say this work authorization system should be followed, or this configuration management system should be followed. So that becomes a sort of a constraint that you need to factor. You have to use that in your project. So that way, these are the enterprise environmental factors. Can be, the organization structure, culture, and it can be anything like a PMIS, which is already decided right in the outset. The fourth input is organizational process asset. The organizational process asset can be anything like a knowledge base or lessons learned from previous projects. It can be any historical information which is going to help you or improve your process as such, or make the work easier to do, or improves efficiency of your work. So that's where the organizational process assets is an important input. It can take the form of a component which is already available that you can use while you are developing your product. So these are the inputs. The inputs for this particular process or project management plan: approved change request. The project management plan has the current baseline. The approved change request has any new updates that you might want to make to the deliverable or the process documents. Then you have the enterprise environment factors, which are the constraints that you have to adhere to. Then you have the organizational process assets, which helps reuse, and also historical information that you have to keep in mind. When you get to the tools and techniques, the most important technique that's used is expert judgment, wherein you make use of experts or consultants or business unit from your organization who have done previous projects, and they can probably help you in executing this particular phase. Then you have the most important input, the project management information system. The project management information system is part of the enterprise environmental factors, but in this context, when you say this as a tool, you're just stressing the aspect of how important is project management information as such, apart from other things in the enterprise environmental factors, which might be the organization culture and all that. But project management information system is really important in case of direct and manage project work. That's why you have stressed, PMBOK has stressed that as a tool in this process, because you'd be waiting for work authorization. What sequence should I perform my execution? What deliverable should I create first? What should I create next as part of this particular phase? So those are all part of work authorization system. Or the team might upload their daily work onto a configuration management system so that the manager can check the work status or get the work performance data. So that way the project management information system is an important tool for this particular process. Then the third input is meetings. Meetings can get more information about the status of the deliverables, what has the team performed on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, what is expected, what is that they have performed, what are the problems that they are facing. So these things get uncovered in the form of meetings, where you use a bit of expert judgment also. So these are the main tools and techniques as part of this particular process. Number one is expert judgment. Number two is project management information system, which is a tool. Then you have meetings as a technique to uncover your status or how the work is going. The outputs for this process, mainly the deliverables. The deliverable can take the form of the project's product, or it can be a phase-wise deliverable. So these deliverables have a deadline or a milestone, and they are used to verify the success of a particular phase. So deliverables are an important output for this particular process. Then you have change requests. Change requests are a result of the project team uncovering some baseline change or a need for a change, wherein the requirement would be better met using these changes, or they might have to be reviewed by the change control board before being implemented into the uh, deliverable or the project's product. Then the work performance data, the actual what has been done, the raw data in the form of percentages, or it might be in the form of the code that's being uploaded, based on which you have to come up with indicators, performance indicators. Then you have the project management plan updates. So you're stressing more on project management plan updates. Although there are deliverables, you're stressing more on the project management plan updates, basically because we are dealing with management processes. So that's where the project management plan updates and project document updates are an important output, and these get updated as a result of approve change requests. So that's the stream, that is the line through which these get updated. So when you're going through a normal process, execution process, it is like you have a PM plan, you have the project team going by the PM plan, creating deliverables. That's one way of looking at it. Then there is the other way, wherein there is a approved change request that's coming in, and then the project team implements the changes onto the project management plan first, and then uses that project plan management plan to execute and create the actual deliverable. In this process, in the whole process, they can uncover new changes which can be going to the change control board, and then they again come as approved change requests, and they get implemented into the deliverables. Then in this process, you would use project management information system, where you update your work performance data, or you can go and check what has been accomplished, what is waiting to be accomplished. In the whole process, you would use meetings and expert judgment whenever there are issues coming up, or you need to derive something, or you need to help the project team. So that's about this particular process: direct and manage project work. So do visit pm-prep35.com to uh, have a look at a lot of mock exams and chapter tests. Thank you. Bye.